Hey everybody, 3KO Games here. Thank you for checking out the channel today. We have a balance update for March 2025 in Empires and Puzzles, so let's dig in and take a look. New buffs for Astral Dwarves. In the past, they've been able to bypass minions with their special skills, and now the normal tile damage will also bypass minions. Wow. So if you have some of these heroes, Solnus, Pluth, Quarry, or Vard, and you are going up against, especially maybe the Moonbell or some of the War of Three Kingdom minion type heroes, you're going to be able to do direct damage to that enemy's HP, and not just to their minions. Making them much more vulnerable to being eliminated, especially if you can, if you have two of those and you can stack them both. That's pretty amazing. So, lots of different ways that the meta of the War of Three Kingdom minion heroes and those costumes is slowly dwindling away. They're still good heroes, but here's just another way that you can counter them with the Astral Dwarves. Another buff, slime status effect, which only affects Fungustine so far. Sticky surface. Buff stealing can now be triggered when any damage is received from an enemy. For example, counterattacks. I don't have Fungustine, but I've seen people play with Fungustine, and it's a little clumsy trying to wait for somebody to hit Fungustine with some kind of attack in order for him to steal growth or whatever. But now even a counterattack could work. So I guess you can be a little bit more in control on when that buff stealing could be triggered. Sounds interesting. Then we have a big long list of individual hero buffs. A lot of these are just buffs on previous Hero of the Months, I think. Maybe they're not Heroes of the Month. But they're just old heroes that, like, well, this doesn't do much. Delilah's getting 5% more direct heal. I mean, no matter what your stats are, 40% heal is a 40% heal. So there's that. And her Guardian minion is getting a little bit of an increase. She gets a similar increase on her costume as well. Don't know if you're going to start using Delilah now. Frida, who I took from Fated Summon forever ago, and never did anything with. I still am rocking, what's his name? The little 3-star Nordry on my Blue Titan team for elemental defense down. Maybe one day I'll get to Frida. But she does a buff dispel and elemental defense down in blue, and she's now getting a 30% damage increase buff. Tuluria, I love it. Every once in a while they keep bringing her back and saying, hey, we're going to buff her a little bit after they nerfed her all those years ago. She was ruling the game when I first started playing and then fell away. I don't know that a 10% direct damage increase is going to make her that much more usable anymore. And then a little bit of an increase on heal over time. I guess 506 over 2 turns is not so great. Malikna or Malitsna, or however you pronounce it, is getting a 30% direct damage increase. Same with Zagrog. Same with Gilligan, although Gilligan is also getting a chance to bypass buffs. That is increased up to 80%, and defense buff is also increased. Okay. So they must have heard my video when I just said that Gilligan is the worst 5 slow hero. Because since then, he's gotten a couple buffs. Maybe he's not the worst. I think Boss Wolf is probably the worst. So listen to me, Boss Wolf. Worst 5-star slow hero. Maybe he'll get a buff next. So if you have Gilligan, maybe he's usable in a rush tournament. Yeah, sure. Anushka, still don't like her, but she's getting a heal increase of 5%. And damage against sleeping enemies is increased to 50%, which is kind of where I think other heroes that do sleep are at. So that's nice. We also have a stat boost in for a lot of heroes, including some of these heroes of the month, like Anushka. That's a pretty sizable increase. I wonder if these are just the most recent heroes of the month, or if they've just kind of thought about like, oh, okay, what heroes of the month are people actually using right now? Because Aviana's fairly recent, Anushka's fairly recent, and they're getting sizable, 100 or over that HP boosts. That's kind of nice. We are getting a mild increase to stats for some of the new bards. Baltair, very slight increase in stats. Bonzo, quite a big increase in stats, 30 on attack and defense and almost 100 on health. So that's something. Bow and Runt, another sizable increase for a hero of the month. Clarice, another one. Doban, I think you pronounce it like that. 200 HP increase. They must have seen that everybody enjoyed Monster Island and that they brought it back. So they're going to try to buff some Monster Island heroes to make the pulling in the summon a little bit more attractive. There's always that kind of angle to all of these buffs. Like, what events are they going to bring back? And how can we make those heroes and those portals more attractive to everybody to spend their money to hopefully summon? Gladius, a lot of people use Gladius, fairly recent hero of the month, and he's getting a big buff in all three places, attack, defense, and health. Fiona, another hero of the month, pretty recent, slow healer, and not much of a boost. I don't think she's that great. Mene is a pretty good hero of the month, pretty recent as well, so her stat boost is not that great. Revna, yeah, Monster Island. So we got a bunch of Monster Island folks getting a big boost here. And Ruad, yes, Monster Island. So they're going to bring back Monster Island. I hope the event is fantastic. And, if you have any of those heroes, they last longer in Monster Island. So there's that. Salimata, another one of the new bards. So we must be getting Challenge Festival 2 back sometime. And also, I think this is just part of SG's goal to combat the power creep a little bit. I trust them when they say, those are dangerous words. I trust them when they say, hey, we're trying to do something about the power creep. I mean, they have definitely slowed down a little bit on the team power of every new hero. It's not that every new hero climbs up one or two. Every week or two, we're climbing up one or two. Maybe it's still too fast, but it's something. And just a few weeks ago, they did a big buff on all these very fashionable families. And now Monster Island family and the new Bard families getting sizable increases. I think this is bringing them all up to the pace of where the latest heroes are. So again, I don't think we're going to see a huge increase for your favorite Atlantis Season 2 hero to bring them to current levels. But to most of the heroes that are still in the summon portals and being used in the game right now, I think they're trying to even that playing field a little bit. So there's Salimata. Siny, blue hero of the month, little bump up. Sigyn, another Monster Island hero, I think, getting a big boost in health. Casimir is a hero of the month. Sune is a Monster Island. Thura, I think, is also Monster Island. Zarga, hero of the month. Zed, hero of the month. Zidane, hero of the month. Wow, they put a lot of Z heroes of the month. And Zora, I think, is Monster Island. So anyway, stat increases for heroes of the month, new bards, and Monster Island heroes. That's pretty great. And then a couple of these random, I think, hero of the month special skill boosts. And then the Astral Dwarves passive changing a little bit. And that sticky surface thing getting easier to trigger. Those are the updates for the month of March, at least as far as we've got them so far. Let me know down below what you think about any of these. What do you think about new buffs and trying to combat power creep, or if it's all just a ploy, or, you know. Thank you for watching the video today, everybody. We'll see you next time.